Anyway, to continue, Donald was not, when I was trying to get that temporary restraining order, you know, I was in the domestic violence shelter, and they want you to get a training order for your own, try to get a training order for your own benefit, so you have closure, so they know you're not going to return to the guy. Of course, there was no chance of me doing that, but in any case, so they have you do that for your own benefit. But when I actually got the temporary, she was like, wow, you know, they don't approve everybody. I talked to the free lawyer for 2 hours, and because she writes a one-page summary of what you've told her. So when I've tell her little things, I mean, she wrote in the thing, and he was abusive to my dog Omar, because she pretends she's you, and she writes it in first person and just one page, you know, because someone like me who doesn't, you know, a judge doesn't want to read a 3, 10, 500 page letter, you know, so. And he was abusive to my dog Omar, neglecting him to give him food, water, and veterinary care. She wrote it. I can't stop her from writing what she writes based on what I say, but that's what they do. They sum it all up. And the judge knows, I'm sure, that they're doing that, and it's not totally, it's the truth, but it's not the whole truth. Okay? Donald was not outright abusive to Omar, okay? It was little things. It was, you know, Donald stayed up all night, slept all day, and when the dog would wake him up at whatever time and he wasn't ready to get up, and Donald wasn't ready to get up, I mean, he would throw him in the kitchen and not even let him go outside to go to the bathroom and not care and expect his mother or I to take care of it, you know, and there are times when he'd throw, you know, one time I came home from work and Omar hadn't had water all day long. But his mom will Donald's mom will brush it aside. Oh, the dog's not going to die. I know the dog's not going to die, but no. And like I was telling you in the other video, you know, there were little things. Donald has very poor impulse control, you know, and Omar's just a little dog, and it could be Donald's fault, you know, like Donald's such a, for example, Donald knew that I went, he gave me permission when I was standing. He knew that I would go on his computer and stuff, or I might even go in his room to get my socks, whatever. He knew I'd went in his room when he was gone. He was gone for the night. He had bought a new laptop. Because his credit card upped his limit. He suddenly had $1,200 to spend to his name, and when I very softly said, you know, you have money now, why don't we, you know, you pay half, I'll pay half, we get Omar's teeth done, and whatever. He said, oh, Laura, why don't you get his teeth, you know, Oh, and I wasn't even talking about take him to the vet. I was talking about this stuff that cost like $80. Donald wouldn't even pay that because he's selfish, in and out of bed, cheap bastard that I regret, or who I regret ever knowing. I'm lucky I escaped there with my life. So, you think I'm ashamed that I'm on psych disability right now? I'm on psych disability. There's millions upon millions of people that are not on psych disability, but that take psych medication. You know what I mean? I'm on psych disability because it was because I busted my ass and worked my whole life, and that's why I get $1,000 a month. But do I want to tell some new guy that? No. But it comes up like, what do you do for a living, you know? I'm just going to be evasive. I'll say I work online. You know, I do work from home. Be a total lie, of course. And then you wonder who's going to even want to be with you if they find out you lied to them. But they should understand that when it comes to something like this, you know, it's just so complicated. But anyway, by the way, when I saw that therapist, she was very, very, very nice, specialized in trauma, when I was in the shelter, but she was 5 seconds away, you know. She was right there where, and here I'm far, far away. That's why I canceled my sessions with her. I'm not adverse to therapy, I'm just adverse to psych medication. She knew that. And it was a place, you know, they don't push it there, okay? Like some doctors might, but, you know, they don't push it. They might suggest it or whatever, but they respect your decisions to not take psych medication. Therapy, oh yeah, but you have to understand that I grabbed this opportunity to come stay with my mom. I could lose it in any moment, but, you know, not because of my mom. My mom will let me stay here forever. But she's controlled by others, unfortunately. But it's the middle of winter. We might have a blizzard tomorrow. Chances are we probably will. Might not be as bad as they're saying, but you have to understand, I wasn't going to continue with that therapy. Wouldn't be fair to her, my therapist, or to me, if I really didn't want to travel far and get my ass down there every week, you know? It would cost me $15, trains and buses and commuter rail and whatnot, but also it's winter. I don't really want to move my ass at all, you know? That's why, I mean, I've maintained my weight within a few pounds. I was 163 point something when I got here. Now I'm like 166, 165. But I've stayed under 170, okay? I've maintained my weight, and that's all I can expect. But yeah, Donald and his mom and abuse and whatnot. But I still want to live. I don't want to just live in this little box that's my mom, you know. I'm not getting any younger, you know. Look in the mirror, my wrinkles are getting deeper. I have money now, I can do something about the wrinkles. You know, something not non-surgical, but at least to help a little bit, you know. I don't know, it's hard. But like I was saying, you know, movies, but they're just movies. Most people don't want that. They want conventionality. They want whatever. And the thing with me is, I do have certain, quote-unquote, shall we say, attributes. Not just physical. And some men are singing my praises to high heaven because they don't know the truth. I look good on paper. I have certain attributes that might make just a certain type of guy, you know, want to give me a chance, despite the fact that I'm unemployed and on Social Security for psych disability, you know, for psych reasons. I don't know. But I think under the circumstances, I'm a survivor and I deserve to at least go on some dates. Even if I have to smidge, you know, fudge a little bit, you know, lie a little bit about what I do for a living, you know. I can be vague. I can say I work from home. I can, you know. Donald wasn't outright abusive to Omar. I mean, just it was little things. It's like it was Donald's own fucking fault that the house was infested with fleas or whatever, because Donald's cheap ass ordered a Vanics over the internet, you can order it over eBay, and I begged him not to, but remember, Donald didn't care about my feelings at all, even when it came to the dog that I had brought into our lives, me. My mom gave me the money, but so what? I had brought Omar into our lives, and I was treated like crap. When all I was concerned about Omar's health and safety. You think I could say one word to Donald when he'd be shit-faced? Granted, I only saw it once, but he was always up in his room with Omar. I mean, like I said, I know he wasn't abusive to the dog, but I just didn't like the underlying attitude. He would say stuff like, and it was just a joke, but it was a joke based in reality, because of course Donald wanted someone to be hugging him and whatever, and he knew he was all alone, he'd probably be all alone forever. He's a fucking asshole, and he's on psych disability and whatever, and oh God, and he would always say, okay, Omar, time to go upstairs for some butt loving, you know. He's just joking, because that was his, you know, his something that loved him. But as I said in other videos that are on private temporarily, there's more to loving a creature you love than simply just showing that creature love. You have to care about its health and safety too, the creature's health and safety. You know, you can't just not take him to the vets ever, and he needs a checkup once in a while, and you can't say, oh, his breath smells, so let's get some $20 thing and send another feed, you know, to cover up the problem. Actually, I was supposed to be a detective and find out what was available, because oh, his breath stinks, we need to do something about it. Yeah, I know, I've told you, Donald, his teeth are rotten out of his skull. Why don't we get something, at least get that natural stuff for his teeth, you know? And Donald didn't want to do that, cheap fucking bastard. Selfish. So he sent me to Sentinel feed and to find out what was available, so then Donald could try to find it on eBay, you know, find it cheap. Oh, by the way, I will never be with a cheap bastard again, and you can have very little money and not be cheap, okay? It's an attitude. I'm frugal. You watch your money, but there's a difference. There's a difference. No matter how much money, little money I've ever had, I always gave a tip at a restaurant, you know, at least 15 or 20%. If you can afford to go out for a meal, you can afford to leave a tip. That's how I feel anyway, but you know what I mean?